we've got the Carabao Cup tomorrow, and that's good. Arsenal's 2-0 down. I thought we'd do a little pre-match before the fun begins.
Confident?
Yeah. Um, no, yes, possibly. I, I see a lot of people go on about we just beat City 5-1, and that's all fair and well, but let's have it right. City weren't on form. Like, that scoreline was very much. Well, if you look at what 3 goals in the last 10 minutes, I think City just kind of down tools and was like, fuck it. Um, the last 2 times we went to St James's, we've not scored a goal. They've
Yeah.
edged it 1-0. They've edged it 1-0. They've scored earlier on, well, in the first half, and just.
I could be wrong.
Back
I'm
in.
picking a complete stat out of it, but I don't think you scored more than 3 goals in like 5 odd games this year in the league either. I know it's not the league, but it's a Premier League opponent.
What do you mean? Sorry, are
I
you
don't
on
think
about
you
it
scored.
overall?
Well, you'll need 2, right, to draw it before you
What I
even.
mean is, are you on about just overall like games, or are you just on about Newcastle in general?
No, just like overall in the league. I can't really remember many games you scored more than 3 goals. Really, you've got you had Palace and Man City. That's the only ones that really come to mind. If you take out the Palace one in the cup as well, so
Yeah.
asking for a lot, and to expect Newcastle not to score as well, I think at St James's Park is wishful thinking. Really,
I don't think they will.
you don't think they'll score?
I don't.
I like it.
Because I reckon we'll just be on the front foot. I reckon we'll just fucking throw fucking caution to the wind. We'll try and play the same way we did against City and just
from minute one?
Press from minute one. Well, what's the point of not?
I would agree with you, but you've not done it at all this season.
It's not Arteta.
You've done it at City.
You weren't going for
the 2 minutes in. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. It's not a game to kind of be like, oh, the scoreline flattered us. That's fine. But we still were high up the pitch. We were winning the ball up the pitch. That's what led to the first goal. Like, that's what we need to do with Newcastle. Because the past 2 times we went up there, we haven't broken them down at all.
I think the problem with Newcastle is their work rate. I think you're going to struggle to break them down is the problem, because they're just constant. They are like, and that sounds daft, but it just seems like everyone at Newcastle has been given the job of, you have legs, absolutely go for it. And their pressure is unbelievable.
I reckon it'll go to extra time.
Doesn't go extra time, does it, in the semis? I thought it was.
Did they just go to penalties?
I thought it was
penalties in.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've got one of these things. Newcastle's one of these teams.
No, I did go to extra time in semi-final, no?
Yeah. City were the make of their own destruction. I think on Sunday they couldn't when they weren't passed out from the back and realised that didn't work. They didn't just punt it along to Haaland. I think Newcastle will do that. Newcastle won't just keep on playing it into a system that ain't working. I can't see them doing that.
Well, they don't have Joe Linton, one of their best players in the Carabao Cup.
He's actually down as a maybe. In Eddie Howe's conference, he's a him and Wilson are possibles for you lot.
Would you chance him for the rest of the season because it was a knee injury?
I think the biggest problem is Joe Linton's such a.
When did Newcastle last win a trophy as well?
Yeah, Joe Linton's such a force.
Years?
Yeah, I think it's 90. I don't know why in my age 64, 63. It's been.
Yeah, it's been like 60 odd years. So they'll be more up for it than Arsenal, and it's one of those where like it shouldn't be like that, but you're not winning a cup in fucking God knows how long. You're dying to, and they got to the final last year against United, or was that the year before?
2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. So you know what I mean? They've got to the final. They've tasted what it was like in the final. To be honest, I thought they should have won it. Not gonna lie, but I don't think they'll get to the final this time.
I've got it down as a Liverpool Newcastle final, the League Cup. I just don't see how they're gonna. It's against Arsenal's character to score 3 or 4 goals anyway in the last couple of years. Well, I say that they're the most scoring team they can in the year. I think last year, bar City, but like they don't score a hell of a lot in the league and this season. So, what was the score? What was the score in the first when you played them in the league? Not a draw.
No, we beat them 4-0. Apparently. 2 seconds. I've got it here. So, no, I came prepared. No, Newcastle beat us 1-0. The time before that was 4-1.
There you go.
So, in the past 5 games, head to head, Newcastle have won 3 and we've won 2.
They've conceded 4 against Bournemouth the other week at St James's. It's possible. I just
They
don't
got
think.
beat against Fulham. They got beat for Fulham at St James's, did they not?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was 2-1. I thought they went 1-0 up and then they lost 2-1.
But a night game under the lights, semi-final, their
At
first
St James's
semi-final at
Park.
home. Yeah,
I'm not going to be one of those. I'm not going to be one of those fans where it's going to be the case of, we're going to go up there and we're going to fucking steamroll them and fucking
you've got the
come out
capability
of
of
it.
doing it.
Have we got the capability? Yes. I honestly think we do. Not with the game plan of this season and possibly last season.
What's your
If you
lineup?
go back to the season beforehand, where Arteta was actually having fun and we were scoring goals galore, then we can easily score 4 or 5 goals. Honest opinion now. In goals, it's not a shock. David Raya.
Yeah.
It can't be Neto. It's fucking cup tied. That's good. Back four. I think the centre backs speak for themselves. Gabriel Saliba.
Yeah.
I would be putting Lewis Skelly at right back and Calafiori at left back. I would be dropping Timber. Just in the first leg, he just did not look up for it. He just didn't seem very motivated to be playing midweek. He just thought, fuck it, we've got the game at the weekend. Let's focus on that. And it should be the case.
You've got a weird one, rather, right? Because you'd have the same as us. You'd have a weekend off at the weekend because you won't have an FA Cup game.
Was the FA Cup? Well, it doesn't matter. I still think Timber wouldn't be up for it in midweek. Yeah. Even in the Champions League, he's not been the greatest. At least Lewis Skelly's got that bit of drive and passion that he actually wants to be in the team and actually wants to win every game. I mean, I've seen so many people going about the Haaland celebration and stuff like that. Some folk love it, some folk hate it. That's absolutely fine. It shows a bit of character of the 18-year-old to kind of have a
both ways. They can't want these Hollywood story rivalries in them, and the rivalries actually burst through a bit. They then moan. Do you know what I mean? I saw Gary Neville go on about it that he didn't agree with it, but
Carragher didn't like it. Carragher liked the Declan Rice's captain ability of being like get up and play on. Basically,
not captain ability. Declan Rice is the most PC footballer I've ever met in my life. He didn't celebrate against Ireland when he scored because he thought it was disrespectful. I mean, he played for under 21s. Who cares? Go on, sorry.
Midfield. That's a really strange one. I'd probably play
Marino.
Rice would be in there, Odegaard at Cam, and it's a toss-up between Thomas Partey and Jorginho. Marino just didn't get in there. You say that, but Jorginho is one of those players that he's patient on the ball and he likes to pick out the right pass. Marino just can't do fuck all. Partey, it's a weird one when he plays with Rice. Sometimes they connect so well, and then other times it's like they've never fucking met before. It's one of those, and even if you bring Partey off the bench, that's quite a heavy fucking sub.
Anyone coming back this week? Or anyone back this week?
Ben White's apparently going to be back after the next fucking international break.
Right.
Saka's back in March, apparently. Jesus is done.
ACL, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no really anybody back. You could really say Calafiori, but he's back and gone like
then he's your front three?
Takeaway delivery driver. Front three, Ethan Wanyeri. Trossard on the left and Havertz up front.
Oh, well, okay. So no Martinelli at all?
No, I'd bring Martinelli on in the 60th minute.
Fair. I just think I listened to Eddie Howe's press conference today, and they're on about playing the same way, and they're always playing their style. They won't at all. He's lying through his teeth. I think he'll sit back and play off the counter.
I think the energy.
That's what they've done the first. That's what they've done the first game, and then it paid off. And then they're like, "Oh, Ken, what? We're just gonna play it different." And you know what? They played it differently. And I said yesterday that they didn't boss us, and I don't think they did. But the right team won on that game, to be honest.
They were definitely the better side.
They were the better side, but they didn't boss us. That's what I would say there.
I don't know whether
It was comfortable. But was it one Havertz miss? No, one Martinelli miss. I
No,
think.
there was quite a few. Martinelli hit the post. If that went in, possibly different game.
But you
It's
usually
it's
say
a lot
on
if buts maybes.
yeah, but you'd say it on another day. But Martinelli's been missing them all season, and so has Havertz. So
Martinelli's going to tap in the other game. Can't remember who it was against.
I think your biggest problem is it's not going there and scoring 2, it's going there and not conceding. Because I genuinely
we'll
think I can see Newcastle having a goal in is the problem.
The only way I think Arsenal comfortably cruise through this in 90 minutes is if they score in the first 10, 15 and get them nervous and get the crowd nervous.
It needs to be an early goal. Has to be. If it's not an early goal, it's a long night.
I know we're not in it, obviously, but when we went to St James's Park, we scored early, and as soon as we absorbed their pressure and then just scored early, the complete atmosphere went out of the stadium. That's what you need to do. I think in St James's, you need to kill them. Do what Bournemouth done at the end of the day.
Yeah.
One of the things Arsenal need to do is they need to get the ball in the box with crosses, corners, the set pieces.
They don't do that.
No, but they need to get on the keeper. They need Havertz on that keeper. Because their keepers, I don't know what their ability is. Nick Pope just seems to be allergic for catching balls, and Dubravka likes a good spill. Like, that's honestly, they can't touch the ball. They can't claim it. Pope punches it, and Dubravka's just shit. So you need to get on them, hope for a rebound, and then on you go. Or even if you don't want that, put Gabriel on them.
If they go into strong corners, that would just, I don't know, from a me perspective, it's just such a, I know you laugh and that, but that is genuinely, it's such a horrible way of playing. Like, I get it, and we used it a couple of years back, but we were demonised for it. Oh, can they only score from corners? That's all they do now, and everything like that.
Everyone seems to be demonised for it. It's a part of the game.
Yeah.
It's a part of the game. When your team's doing it and they're being successful with it, you're always going to get a backlash from it. And obviously, with it being Arsenal, everyone thinks it's a fucking vendetta. And
what's your prediction?
2-0 go through on penalties.
Ooh.
I would probably actually say either 1 or 2-1 Newcastle, if I'm honest. I think you're right. I think Newcastle will sit back and absorb, but I think if you guys don't score early, and I think if Linton plays, I don't see you guys getting a result.
The thing that needs to happen, and it hasn't happened, but it did sort of against City, is you need Odegaard in between the line of where the midfield of Bruno Guimaraes and possibly Tonali, in behind them, but in front of Botman, whoever, Fabian Schär, whoever it is, he needs to be in there to be able to play the quick 1-2, the quick passing.
Yeah.
In the start of this year, it's been so noticeable. He's picking the ball up where in the centre circle. He's been one of the most deepest players back, and he can't play there. He isn't more effective there. He needs to be there to pick the pass. And you saw it when Lewis Skelly picked up the ball on the edge of the box. He drove in, he got a shot in. Fair enough, keeper probably should have done better. He scored. When Yeri picked the ball up, he driven in the box, he scored. Havertz got in the box, cut back, scored. Get in the box, we have got the quality to score goals. It's just the fact of getting in the fucking box.
Yeah.
It's also as well, you realise how free you played after you got 3-1 up.
Yeah.
That must be even more frustrating from an Arsenal fan's perspective.
Don't. I've said it. If you're going to sit back, get 2-3 goals up. So if you concede, it doesn't fucking matter. You've still got a 2-goal cushion, a 1-goal cushion. If you're sitting back at 1-0, it's just...
I think 2-1 Arsenal. I think they win the match, but I think they lose the tie. And I genuinely, either one of them gets an early goal, and obviously one of them equalises, and then Arsenal go on to win the match.
If Newcastle get an early goal, good night.
No, I don't know, because if they sit back, mate, that just gives in. All your wingers will do is go down the line and kick it out for a deflection into a corner. Because you can score 3 corners in a game, can't they?
Yeah.
They tend to do that. It really annoys me because I always bet fucking Arsenal to have like 7+ corners, and no one seems to want to cut down the line and cross it in. Like they just don't, and it really it annoys me. But
It'll be
the
close.
game plan's there. It's not a hard game plan to follow. It just seems to be the fact of when teams sit back in their own box that it's hard to play. And that's fine, but a world class coach would be able to have different options of
Does he need
how
this
to
one?
counter that. Pardon?
Does he need this one?
Does he
Arteta.
need what? Does he need this win?
No, the cup.
No, but yes. It's one of those, and I said it yesterday. If you win it, it's a cup. If you don't win it, it's a
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Cup. It's one of those where if he wins this cup, you're still going to have fans going, he's only won that. And that's a fair enough argument. So then what's the point of actually winning it when you're going to have fans and pundits going, he's only won that, or he's not won anything? It's the equivalent.
Because it actually signifies some sort of like if you still finish second this year, because I don't think you're going to win the league, but that's my opinion. If you still finish second this year, you can at least say that you've had success and you've won a trophy. I think my biggest problem
Nah,
with Arteta's success is that he's finished second now, but he's done nothing in any other tournament, and
that's what annoys me.
but that for me, that's the annoying part because they'll like Arsenal will paint themselves as City's contender, but City will compete in three tournaments at once and get to the end stages. It's not just like tunnel vision. So for me, I'd be happy if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be happy if, for example, you get second and you win the Carabao Cup.
Well, it was at
Great.
I'm going to be one of these fans, and I'm going to say the likes of, especially the Carabao Cup, the likes of Liverpool, City, United of old, they put out a whole different team than what they play every other fucking game with. They always seem to just pack it in with youngsters with a little bit of talent, and they get through until they get to the semi-final, final, and then that's when they put the Haaland stuff in. So I do get that they do go further in, but at the same time they've got more legs, I suppose, in them. Like you're not playing fucking Saturday and then Tuesday and then a fucking Sunday kickoff and then you're playing a Wednesday in midweek.
But
Like that's
also
four
down
games.
to the manager to use his changes, in my opinion.
100%, and I
I get what you're saying. I just feel
I think he needs it. He's got an out at that point. If he finishes second, it's no improvement on the league, but he's got an out because he's not going to get a bit more talent. He's not going to get a bigger points tally than last year. That ain't going to happen now, I don't think. So
I've got an answer, and you know what? Yes, this Carabao Cup he does need it because the amount of pressure and backlash he's getting from this transfer window, obviously closing and not signing anybody. If the results keep going the way they are, winning to losing one in fashionably Arsenal fucking way, and then drawing a game where it should never be a draw, it's going to get worse and worse for him. He needs to pick up momentum. That City game is something to build on. It's not one of those where you can go, we've absolutely peppered City, we're better than City. Not the case. But you need to be able to go, we've scored 5 against one of the best defences in the league, possibly in the world. Why can't we score fucking one past Newcastle? That's the thing. And no knocking Newcastle at St James's Park because it is a fortress at the best of times. But we're Arsenal Football Club. We're known for scoring goals, or we have been. Why the fuck can't we? Like that's the thing.
you look at it right now. If they went on to win, because I think the Carabao finals. I think at the end of March, usually around the end of March.
I thought it was the end of Feb.
Is it right? But by the end of March, is that already? I could be wrong with this, but I think Arsenal, the best they've ever done is a domestic double. They've won the league and an FA Cup. If they got the League Cup, what I'm saying, by next week, they'll know if Liverpool are 9 points away from them after the game in hand on the 12th.
Yeah.
If they're 9 points away with 13 games left, you don't want to say it's done. It's done. So if they won the League Cup, then they can prioritise the Champions League by the time they next come. Because you think about it, they ain't got a game until Liverpool lace their boots for not the Everton game, the game after at the weekend. So they'll know by that point whether they're 9 points behind or not.
Yeah.
So really, if you think about it, they could get the League Cup in the bag. I'm not saying that they still need to play Liverpool at the end of the day, probably in the final, right? unless it's going to be a North London derby, which would be class. But then you can turn around and go, right, we're going to prioritise the Champions League because they've never won a Champions League. So, like, do you get what I mean? I think the League Cup puts it in the bank for him because in the day, mate, worst comes worst, he finishes second, he gets the League Cup, still an improvement because there's a cup in his trophy cabinet he didn't have last year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do think he needs it. I agree with both of you. I think he has to do something because I think finishing second again, it's not good enough, really.
Pressure is mounting on him for the amount of stories that have come out today, the day after the transfer window shut. Apparently, Watkins, it was a 40 million bid. Villa then went, no, we'll accept a 60 million bid. And apparently, Villa were very much like, if you come in with 60 million, you will have the player. End of. You will have him. And I don't know if it was Arteta, Kroenke, Barkenstaff, fucking anybody. They just went, nah, it's all right. But then one thing that really is starting to get on my tits a bit is they're going, yeah, but we need the right players to come in. Go get them. Sesko, you could have got him. If folk can go, yeah, but he could possibly overspending. That's fine. If he helps us win the league, no one gives a fuck about that then. You know what I mean? If he goes and scores 50 odd goals from now to the end of the season, no one's going to bat an eyelid because they're going to go, that's what he came in for. He chose not to pursue Watkins. He chose to not pursue Tell, which...
Just quickly, sorry, just to stay on topic, do you have a particular team you prefer to verse in the final? Spurs or Liverpool?
Spurs.
Right, okay. All right.
Why wouldn't you want to beat them in a final?
I don't know. The way I was thinking that Spurs will have a full squad by then. Van der Ven will be back. Rivera, I think, will be back by then. I don't know if you might be the only one I'm looking at that isn't there, but Solanke, I think, is back by the final if they got to the final.
When we beat them 1-0, did they not have a pretty full-on squad then as well?
Yeah, no. All I'm saying is a full squad at Wembley. It's a neutral ground, isn't it? Who knows what could happen is my point.
We apparently love that place. Our record there is quite good over the past times we've got there. We beat Chelsea there a couple of times. Did we beat City there?
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want Spurs because I think I would want Spurs at Liverpool and Spurs, but it's just I don't know. Just in case you fancy beating the Giants on the way to the League Cup.
No, because they won't put out their strong team unless they get to the final.
They put a half-decent team out against us a couple of rounds ago. Don't wrong, they put Salah on, I think about 4-0 up and just decided to actually spank us, but it's like, there's no need for that, but...
Yeah, it's kind of the blade of the guillotine, wasn't it? It was just cutting the head off for no reason.
Van Dijk was playing everyone. But, yeah. Good luck, mate.